All right, y'all, welcome back for another Walking Dead review of the final season of the final episodes. This time we're jumping into episode 18 of season 11, A New Deal. Now, this episode, along with episode 17, will be premiering on AMC October 9th. And if you have AMC Plus, you can check it out a week early on October 2nd. Now, yes, I know my review for episode 17 is available, but the things I cover in episode 17 in my review will not at all spoil what happens in episode 18. So you're good, nothing to worry about. You can watch this, you can get prepared, you can get hyped. And if you've never been to my channel before here and you know my Walking Dead content, know that I don't give spoilers. I just want to get you hyped and excited and things you can expect and prepare in this episode. That way you can enjoy it the same way I did. I don't want to ruin it for you all. I'm hype about it. I love this fan base. I love this series. I love this universe. And I want you also to have the same excitement that I do. So stick around for many more. Hopefully you like and subscribe. And as we cover this last and final season of The Walking Dead, it's going to have so many emotions. Speaking of emotions, well, before we get to that, let's talk about the synopsis here, because I want to read what's available. That way the things I know I can cover and not spoil anything else. So the synopsis read: Carol makes a deal with Pamela to wipe the slate clean on behalf of her friends. Aaron, Jerry, Lydia, and Elijah get on a road to Oceanside to fill them in on the plan. The Commonwealth celebrates Founders Day. So there's that. Those are some of the things that we'll talk about. And then I will get you some foreshadowing and whatnot and other things in this episode. But yeah, as I said, speaking of feels, this one also opens up with another flashback reel, but this time it's focused on Daryl. And, you know, we're seeing all of the memories, the moments from Rick, with Carl, with Meryl, just how long we've been with this character, Daryl, but also just really seeing Norman just really become in his own with this character. So many emotions, so many good moments. And we've been so loyal to Daryl, and flashing back to all those special moments was really special. And then obviously seeing Daryl and Rick is always going to just have it's such a heartfelt moment, because after he lost Meryl, Rick pretty much stepped into being that brother role for him. And then when you think about Norman and Andy and their relationship, you're like, man, it just translates on screen. So knowing what we know as fans and whether it's the actors or the characters, it's just special. And being able to go back down that nostalgia road, it was, oh my God, I was choked up. And then the episode was like, boom, get ready, sir, because the action's here, because it immediately puts us in the current timeline of Daryl and Hornsby, which at this place now, the deal has been made. And even though it's been made, Daryl has got to make a statement. And when he makes the statement, which is in true Daryl fashion, Negan kind of looks over and nods at him because he liked it. It was funny. It's just moments like that just are really, really special. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is so good as Negan, and you could sort of sense the moments of improv, and that just felt like one of the moments you was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a crazy episode. I did mention about the new title sequence. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but the music with it is really dope. This new rendition of the Walking Dead theme, I feel like it has a little bit more drums and guitar to it. It's really dope, along with all the animation. It's really dope. But yeah, this is a really big Daryl episode, and you're going to have all the feels and all of the emotions and moments in this episode as well. I mean, we can't get enough of Daryl, so bring it on, folks. I will take all of it, But anyway, with that being said, Carol made the deal with Pamela to wipe the slate clean on behalf of her friends, which it says in the synopsis. And with that, now everybody has to consider what they're going to do next. Whether you're staying at the Commonwealth, whether you're going back to your respective communities, whether you're going to stick together, and all sorts of other different decisions that could be made. I mean, at this point now, the options are unlimited, and it's just a matter of what's doing best for you and yours, And with that, there is, everybody has a common enemy now between Pamela and the Commonwealth and the Walking Dead family, and obviously it's Hornsby. But hey, you gotta think about this now. A man who has nothing to lose, that makes him a dangerous man. So just kind of seeing what Hornsby next steps is going to be is kind of going to be kind of crazy, when you think about it. But yeah, a lot of decisions and things will need to be made. And maybe there may be some unfinished business for folks before they can actually transition into what's next, you know? There's an Easter egg moment in this episode. And initially I called it an Easter egg. And then after a while I was just like, I don't know. It's a moment for sure. And everyone's going to recognize this moment. And everybody is going to make this moment special because we recognize the importance of this moment. And this has to do with Judith. And I think what's the surprise about all of this is Judith's response to this moment. And it also frustrates Daryl, which I think it may frustrate the viewers a little bit too. But ultimately it's because parenting just has not been easy for Daryl. He's still trying to figure it out. He's like, man, how did Rick do this? I don't get it. And you know, Daryl's figuring out the hard way. With that being said, the music is daunting the entire time. The music and the score. And I think like it has a lot to do with like what Daryl's kind of internally feeling through all of these different things. But, you know, nonetheless, it does have you having a sense of like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You're just looking around the corner because on every given moment, you know something's going to happen. But on the other end, you have Negan preparing for fatherhood. And things are getting real for him, real. So, you know, we'll see how that kind of plays about. RJ is having a moment, and his moment is very much an Easter egg. And I was very much, I smiled at the moment because it was really cool. I don't think this is the first time they've done something like this, but I did like it and I appreciate it. And I'll just say for all of the comic book lovers out there, you're going to love this moment too. It's really cool. It's a lot of emphasis on it. You understand the connection and whatnot. So it's really cool. But yeah, as things are appearing to get back to normal really isn't for everybody. You know, when your life is pretty much survival and on the road, what does normal mean? You know? And then with that, there's a lot of focus on the Miltons. So yeah, with that being said, things start to get messy and, well, peace and order doesn't last forever. And we all know by now that the Commonwealth people don't play games. They're very easily fickle and opinionated, which means that like they can be swayed in any direction quickly without hesitation. And that's what is looming around. Speaking of looming around, from the previous episode, there was a danger, a threat. And that's still a thing. So, got to kind of see how that plays about in this as well, too. I am a pro wrestling fan, so this one definitely made me smile as there was a ring being set up in this. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, for Founders Day, they're setting up everything like a fair. So, pro wrestling ring makes sense. And certainly enough, they had a pro wrestling match, which I was like, yes! Because this tells me that, in good news, no matter how crazy the world gets, pro wrestling is forever. However... Daryl doesn't care for it, which is completely funny to me. Completely funny. But anyway, with that being said, the last moments of this episode is beyond intense. You get the chills. It's just a sense of you not knowing what could and may happen. And I was just on edge the entire time. Mercer is completely badass in this episode. And with that being said, like we do get to spend a little bit of time with every character to kind of see how they're feeling about everything. So these moments are kind of special. But like Mercer had some badass moments. And beyond that, the very final closing moments of this episode was like goddamn cruel. I was like, holy hell, this is cruel. And I just said, wow, like a couple of times I just didn't know what to think. And then after I was like, maybe this is like poetic justice here. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel. And I'm so curious to know how you all are going to feel because the last moments definitely had me a little bit torn. So I don't know. But I don't know. With that being said, you know, I know you all are very excited for the first two episodes. Again, they will be available October 9th for AMC, October 2nd for AMC Plus. This is episode 17 and 18 of season 11. I want you all to jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your excitement, your hype, all that for this episode. And if you've never been here, if this is your first time checking me out, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, stick around for much more Walking Dead content. There is more coming. Some exciting stuff as well too. So I'm very excited to be covering this last season, which is going to have so much emotion. I just don't know how we're going to get through it. Hopefully we don't break down, but we're going to try our best to do it. But until then, folks, stick around. Stay tuned for more reviews. As always, be safe, and I'll see you back next week.